Hello everyone, we will be dealing with chapter 1, that is the constitution and the need for laws. Okay, so we have been dealing with natural resources, as well as we've been dealing with land, soil and water. Okay, now we will be stepping into another chapter, that is constitution and the need for law. So everyone turn to page number 208, and as always, if you are using a new textbook, then your page number would differ. Okay, so we will learn about what a constitution is, and we will be learning about what is the importance of constitution in our country, and we will also discuss about laws. Why do we need laws in a country, or maybe in order to rule the people? Okay, so constitution. A constitution is an important document, okay, which gives us the fundamental principles to stay in a country, as well as to govern a country. Okay, so laws are being implemented, or laws are being made according to our constitution. So in India, okay, the constitution has been adapted from various different countries in order to bring it to our country as well. So what happened was that this was prepared by the Constituent Assembly, and it came to effect. Okay, it came into effect on 26 January 1950. Okay, don't forget the date. It came into effect on 26 January 1950. Okay, so the Constituent Assembly of India took 2 years, 11 months and 17 days to draft the constitution. Okay, so in order to draft the constitution, it took around 2 years, okay, 11 months and 17 days. Okay, so okay, why do we need, or what is the importance of a constitution? Okay, number one, our constitution contains valuable information regarding the structure, organ, duties and responsibilities of the government. Okay, so our constitution plays a very important role, okay, for giving information to the organs, or maybe to the structure and duties. Okay, so the constitution gives information as well as keep a check on three important aspects, that is legislative, executive and the judiciary as well. Okay, in legislature you will have parliament, as well as the state legislature. Executive, you have the president, vice president, and judicial, you will have the supreme court. Okay, so all the powers, everything will be checked by the constitution and how they function as well. Point number two, our constitution regulates the relationship between various organs, as well as between citizen and the government. Okay, so what our constitution does is they try to maintain good relationship between citizen, as well as who are ruling the government as well. Okay, so they try to check all these things in the government, so that there would be smooth functioning in the government as well as in the country as well. Number three, our constitution has a system of check and balances. This prevents the misuse of power vested in the government. Okay, so any type of misuse of power in the government, which is done by a politician, or maybe which is done by a person in the country, okay, then our constitution tries to check this kind of misuse of power, okay, against such person, so that there will be no misuse of power in our country as well. So the constitution tries to check as well as balance the misuse of power in the government. And the fourth point, because India has a diverse population, it is important to protect the rights of the minorities. Our constitution guarantees certain rights to protect the minorities against the oppression of the majorities. Okay, so India, being a very big country, has a very distinct, culture, different culture. okay, as well as we have different religion, we have different language as well. So it makes India a very diverse country, okay, where everything is mixed up and then we are living together. So in this kind of situation also we have some minority groups who are considered as the backward classes, or maybe who are considered as very low in the society. They are mostly at times, what happened was that they are oppressed, okay, they are oppressed by the majority group of people. And so our constitution gives special rights, okay, or certain rights to this minority group of people, so that they would be able to live their life freely, as well as they would also be able to get all the privileges that the majority group of people are getting as well, okay. The last point, that is, our constitution also guarantees certain fundamental rights to citizens in order to protect them against injustice by the government, okay. So if any kind of injustice happen in our country, okay, clear, everyone has the right through the fundamental right, okay, it gives basic rights to an individual person, okay. He or she has the right to stand up against himself. He or she has equality in a country, okay. So according to our constitution, we are given the fundamental rights, okay. We have all the rights that we want, okay. So through the constitution, it allows every citizen of India to have the fundamental rights, okay. So why do we need laws, okay? Why do we need laws in a country like India? Or what is law, okay? Law is basically generated for the welfare as well as security for the people, okay. It acts as a welfare as well as a security. If we don't have laws in our country or in our society, then the society would be in a chaos, okay. No one would be there to listen to one another. No one would be there to follow certain laws, okay, or maybe certain instructions. So when we have laws, everything goes in a very systematic manner, okay. For example, in a school, okay, in a school we have to follow certain rules and regulation. These are also laws which are being implemented by a higher body, so we have to follow certain kind of laws. And if we are to disobey this, we are given certain we are given certain punishment, or maybe we are given certain kind of punishment as well, right? So just like that, okay, we need laws in our society so that our society would coexist and live in a peaceful manner. If we don't have laws, then there will be a lot of crimes. No one would be there to listen to one another, okay. So because of which we need laws, okay. And also laws are there, okay. Also laws plays a very important role, okay, for bringing about social changes in the society, okay. Laws bring social changes in the society, as well as they try to bring an equal society, okay. They try to bring an equal society. It doesn't mean that certain group of people will rise against the other, a male will go higher, girl or woman would be looked down. It's not like that, okay. But laws try to make everything equal, okay. There will be no misuse of power, okay. According to the laws, everyone should get equally for what they deserve, okay. So, and there it is, okay. We have the dowry system, okay. So what is dowry system? Dowry system is the exchange, is the giving of goods, okay, while you are getting married, in terms of cash, in terms of kind, or any kind of material. For example, vehicle, okay, vehicle, bikes, jewelries, money, etc. So when you are getting married off with the boy, you have to pay a certain amount of money, or maybe you have to give a certain amount of jewelry to the husband's family, okay, that is called as dowry system, and it is much more evident in the Indian society, mostly related with the Hindu society as well. Okay, so they follow this system of dowry, okay, where the women folk give a huge amount of money or jewelry as demanded by their husband's family. Okay, so what happens when they are not able to pay this certain kind or certain amount of money? Okay, so when they are not able to pay this amount of money before the marriage or after the marriage, they are subjugated to physical abuse as well as mental abuse. They are beaten up by their husband's family. They are chased away from their husband's house, and unless and until they bring back the money or dowry back, they are not allowed to enter into the house. And also women become victims of acid as well as physical abuse. So when women do not Okay, so when women are not able to pay such kind of things and they go through such pain, okay, what they do is that they are, they kill themselves by suicide. Okay, most often women are beaten up, or maybe they are murdered by their husband's family, or they are even burned. Okay, so these are some of the problems that women face in the society in India. Okay, but what happened was the Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961, okay, came about. The government took an initiative to prohibit the collection of dowry in the Indian society. Okay, so the Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961 came about. Okay, and according to this, any man or woman, okay, either the woman for giving money to the husband's family or even the husband's family accepting the dowry, would be imprisoned, okay, will be jailed, or would have to pay a huge amount of fine to the people. Okay, so the Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961 plays a very important role in curbing this Dowry Prohibition Act. Okay, so even though the Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961 came into effect, okay, but still today people are collecting dowry as well as giving dowry in the Indian society. Okay, and most of the physical crimes are caused because of this in India currently as well. Secondly, we will be discussing on female feticide. So what is female feticide? Female feticide is when an unborn girl child is killed in the mother's womb. That is called as female feticide. Killing of babies in the mother's womb before the baby is even born, it is called as female feticide. Okay, so because of such kind of heinous crimes which are implicated against women in the Indian society, because of such kind of dowry collection, okay, parents do not prefer to have women or girl child, okay, in the society. And so what they do is that they try to find out or determine the sex of the child before the baby is even born, and if they find out that it is a female child, then they try to eradicate it by abortion. Okay, that is called as female feticide. Okay, so when we look into the census of 2001, around the age of 0 to 6, okay, there was less number of girl in the Indian society, okay, compared to 1991 census. So we can see that even today female feticide is very prevalent in India. Okay, and the government also, likewise, the Dowry Prohibition Act, okay, they also brought about another act. Okay, the government passed the prenatal diagnostic techniques, that is regulation and prevention of misuse, okay, act, which came about in 1994. Okay, according to this act, any medical institute or hospital involved in determining or maybe finding out the sex of a child, okay, if they try to determine as well as find out the sex of a child, then they would be imprisoned. Okay, even though these acts and laws have been implemented in the Indian society, these things are still going on a very large scale. Okay, so next, laws and dissent. Okay, laws have been formed in order to provide benefit to the people. Okay, but in some cases and in some instances, these laws can also be not in favor of the people. So when that happens, people go against the law by protesting as well as trying to fulfill their needs. So in history, we came across such kind of incidents. For example, that is Salt Satyagraha. Salt Satyagraha was a situation or was an incident, okay, where the Indians had to pay a huge amount of tax to the British government, and the Indians did not like that, okay, and they had to go against the British law. So what happened? Gandhiji set up a Salt Satyagraha on 12th March 1930, okay, and Gandhiji along with his followers left from Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad and walked to Dandi village. And they reached Dandi village on 6th April 1930. Okay, and once they reached Dandi, what they did was they violated the salt law, okay, by picking up the law and disagreeing with the British people. Okay, and this Dandi march also led to the start of the civil disobedient movement. Okay, so with this we understand that we can also go against the law if the law is not in favor of certain situations. Next, we see the anti-liquor movement. Okay, this was against the sale of liquor in Andhra Pradesh, where women folk in the society, when they saw their husbands wasting much of their money in liquor, okay, so they started to protest against the government. The government allowed the sale of liquor in Andhra Pradesh, but most of the sellers were starting up illegal business. So what they had to do was the women came about, raised their voice to remove liquor from their state. And with this, okay, the government had no other way but to impose a ban on liquor. Okay, so what happened at some instances in history, when they went against the law, they were quite successful. Okay, they were quite successful in bringing about a change. So with this, okay, we come to the end of this chapter. So we will deal with the other chapters in the next class. So everyone, take care and stay home, be safe.